All right, everyone, how you doing? Today, I'm gonna be doing something extremely out of my depth, something I haven't done before. Just to really freshen things up in my content, and this is gonna be a very opinionated tier list, but specifically Splatoon 1, the original Splatoon on Wii U stages tier list. There are stages that feel like they're designed by a 10-year-old, and there are stages that actually have incredible thought put into it. I'm going to highlight the stages that I personally played myself and can relate to as continuously wanting to go back to. What else? And this is a pre-template that I borrowed from TierMaker. I'm pretty sure it's still up, and you know, we all have our stages in Splatoon that we look forward to when it gets announced by the what is it, the something sisters, and whatever you get is pretty much random. It reverses, and you're left either disappointed or incredibly excited. And I'm gonna, personally give my opinion on what stages I look forward to the most in Splatoon. Now, let's get started. First, the original stage. I don't know what name this is, but I played it several times. Honestly, it's pretty bland. This stage is incredibly bland. I'm pretty sure it's completely symmetrical, and yeah, I remember playing this in the Splatfest, early Splatfests. This is one of the launch stages, and you can definitely tell C tier. What else? This is Walleye Warehouse. I remember the stage actually. This was an incredibly good stage, but I feel it's kind of linear in kind of where you can go. It had a lot of kind of potential to be really, really good. I like the aesthetic of it too. So Walleye Warehouse, it's okay. It's probably a B tier. And what else? Ooh, all right. This is okay. This one I don't remember the name of. I remember the stage. This was an incredibly good stage. Incredibly good. An example that everyone should follow. B tier or A tier. What is this? I'm pretty sure that's... Oh. Yeah, that is a Splatoon 1 stage. This, by the way, I forgot to mention, this is combining both Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2 stages. I haven't played Splatoon 2 at all, and I'm not really interested in it. So I'm just going to be ranking Splatoon 1 stages. The amount of stages right here, cut it by half, and then you get the amount that I'm going to be judging. So this is a Splatoon 1 stage. I don't know what this is specifically. I'm going to have to look this up. Splatoon 1 stages. I apologize, I need a quick refresher here. Alright, sure, this is good enough. For the meantime, I will be ranking the other one. Actually, no, it's already up, never mind. Urchin Underpass, Walleye Warehouse, Spray Rig. Are these the same order this is? It is, alright. Where is that specific picture from? This one. Museum Delfoncio. No. I've never heard that name before, but I have seen this stage. This is one of the greatest honestly. What else do I remember that from? It is really crazy on how or where you can go in the stage. This was 2015, so this was one of the earlier stages, and I'm impressed by the stage. I'm continuously impressed. There's many options. There's many options to kill in the stage. Where you can, traverse to like, let's say, flank the enemy is or has many different options. Overall, really good stage, but it's bogged down by a few problems. First, it's way too many places that there's way too many kind of places that are separate from the main stage, basically. It's it's kind of hard to explain. Like, there is a lot of like potential for the stage, and it's pretty much lived to a lot of it, but it has quite like smaller things that just bog it down just a little bit, and that kind of make it just a little bit from reaching like god status. So A tier, definitely A tier. What is this? This was the basket. This was not the. This was a skating one. Which one was this again? Arowana Mall. This was the original that everyone hates, and I think that's misguided. B tier. What is this? Oh, I've seen this. This is mackerel something, right? This is, what is this again? Port mackerel. Port mackerel. This is one of the only stages. It's linear, but there's many options to kind of unexpectedly kind of there's many different options to take and recapture places that is not in kind of not in options that would be very prevalent in kind of lower tier stages, poorly thought stages. This one is an incredible stage. It looks amazing too. Amazing details. And I like, I just had fond memories from it. Support at Mackerel gets an S rank. One of the only S's so far. What is this? Kelp Dome? This is Kelp Dome, right? This is definitely Kelp Dome. Alright. Kelp Dome. I don't know how, but we got two S tiers. S tier. This stage is completely symmetrical. There was I have so many different good things to say about Kelp Dome. This stage has a symmetrical kind of layout to it. The map in itself, the way it has like this kind of shape. This is like a dome shape collapse, like capsule kind of thing, and has like aesthetic going on too. What else? There's many different options too. There's very little places that you can't go, and there's a lot of different options to capture the main central one that leads to all of them. Port Mackerel, not Port Mackerel, but Kelp Dome is an incredibly like expansive place that you even you're surprised at how many different places that you can actually go to, kind of take the objective from it. So I'm impressed by Kelp Dome. S tier for sure. All right. What is this now? I remember this. Bluefin Depot. I don't really recall that name, but I do know the stage. This stage is, honestly, I can't get myself to hate it. Even though it's really not that good, it's pretty simple, I can't get myself to hate it. It's just barely simple enough to just be okay. C tier. What is this? Morai Towers. Oh, okay. I do remember this. I hate it. It's so linear. The main thing, the main place, the main like course of it is right dead in the middle, and it's huge. It's like this like 1x1 square. It's obviously not 1. You get my point though. It's 1x1 to just capture it. It's a frenzy after that. After it's been captured by a single color, you just go through it. I guess it's stupid, okay, and it's poorly thought out, and it's pretty lazy to D tier. Yeah, I know. Controversial, I know. What is this? Camp something. Camp Tigerfish. This one is really, really good. The only reason why it's not S tier though, it's the reason why it's not S tier. There is way too many places that you get trapped in. There are places that, like in Camp Tigerfish, that you can go, but you have to like wait a couple minutes, or not a couple minutes, but like a minute or two to kind of traverse in, and after that you're done. You have to wait a couple minutes again. Those kind of problems that can be easily kind of solved is not there, but there's a lot of different options that you can take. There's a lot of different options that you can take from Camp Tigerfish to recapture a lot of different places. It's different from a lot of these stages, very different. It's not. It doesn't feel like a map, like a centralized map. It feels like an expansive place that you just kind of explore when you're playing, right? It's exciting. It like gives like a fresh kind of experience each game. It's really, really good, right? Camp Tigerfish, Class A stage, but there's a few problems in it that it's just barely kind of like barely steps it down from S tier. A tier, man. A tier. What is this? I remember playing this though. Flounder Heights. Oh yeah, I definitely remember this. I remember the name and everything. Flounder Heights. What do I recall from it? I recall the centralized place of it. The central kind of platform is incredibly like a frenzy of like every single team. But there's a lot of ways to you can enter the central kind of platform and extend later on to a certain point, right? A certain point. It might just be a B tier. Just barely on the edge of C tier. Just barely on the edge of C tier for sure. And I don't even really like the aesthetic of it either. Camp Tigerfish had like a summer camp going on, like the aesthetic of it. This one has like buildings, apartments. Not really too exciting. And it's kind of like I wouldn't say it's linear, but it's not really the most thought of. It has a lot of places that you can traverse in to retake a lot of turf, but in the straight the kind of aspect of how you can take those turfs. It's really, really, really simple. Way too simple. B tier. What is this? I remember this though. Hammer Bridge, is it? Yes, this is the exact stage. Hammerhead Bridge. This one is a really, 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 really good stage. Really, really good. It has the top platforms and the bottom platforms. There is no like traps you can kind of settle in. And it's incredibly thought about. It's incredibly complex how you can kind of get to the top and bottom. You can switch how you kind of capture turf there. It's incredibly deep. It's really deep, and it's something that you get excited of each time. S tier. What is this? I don't know what this is. Didn't I just do this? I just did, didn't I? No, I didn't. That's weird. I thought I did this stage. Whatever. Anyways, sure. I think I already explained it though. All right. All right. Well, I'm sure I did this. All right. I'm gonna have to push it back just a little bit more. What? This was a stage that I've been looking forward to talk about. I wouldn't say it's as bad as this one. I don't recall the name of it. I wouldn't say it's as bad as that, but it comes close. I wouldn't say it's simple. Like there's a lot of things you can do with it, which is why it keeps it from becoming D tier. There's a lot of different smaller things you can do to capture turf, especially in this main kind of main central stage platform in the middle, where the whole team gathers the most. But I'm not a fan of waiting. I'm not a fan of waiting to capture more turf, which is why I gave Camp Tigerfish such a hard time, you know? And there's way too much water. The water, it's very, very dynamic and really nice, right? Wait, hold up. I'm pretty sure. Do I have... Alright, nice. I don't have to restart that. Alright, whatever. Sorry about that. Just checking something quickly. Alright, we're back. What was this again? This stage, Mahi Resort. Mahi Resort. It's something of a different stage. I think I explained this, but it keeps it from becoming C tier or D tier. I mean, but there's a lot of smaller things, and you know, even then, it's actually just pretty simple. When you get kind of the way you get to the actual central platform, there's not really anything else you can or anywhere else you can really go besides it. So yeah, it's not really something that you can continuously come back to and be like kind of excited to where you're gonna go, because where you're gonna go, it's very basic, basically C tier. Not terrible, you know, underwhelming, definitely. What else? What is this? I'm pretty sure that's it. From, oh wait, is it? Piranha Pit. Oh, I know this. This is Piranha Pit? I don't remember this. This is a much later stage. Any photos or anything? Oh, no, I should remember this. Yeah, I remember this. Excellent stage. You can see the, kind of, like a treadmill over here. The inclined over here, a lot of different geometrical kind of layouts. It's incredibly dynamic, seeing where you can go each time, and it's incredibly different experience of how you can capture the turf. And there's no central place that you're expected to gather to. You know what I mean? Not Camp Tigerfish, Piranha Pit. incredibly dynamic stage and incredibly thought about. S tier for sure. For sure S tier. What is, I know the stage. This is the kind of mall, isn't it? I'm not sure if no. Alright. I'm gonna have to wait until this loads. Here we go. NCOV Games. I was gonna say James. NCOV Games. Is that it of Splatoon 1? I'm pretty sure that's it. What can I say? Decent stage for sure. There's a lot of little problems that just like gather, that make it, that keep it from being incredibly good. Yeah, basically. Hold on, I'm gonna need some pictures to refresh. This is, I think, the last stage that they released, which is actually kind of sad. This is 2016. I need some photos to refresh. It's weird because I just played the stage. Okay. Honestly, the actual turbines that you're expected to shoot will definitely make it or break it for you on the stage. If you're not a fan of like the mechanics of it, you will be like hating every single part of it. And if you can't really try to adapt to it, there's definitely ways you can go to reach the main part or the main platform, the main central kind of the main central part of the stage, and even then there's a lot of different routes that extend from it, that you can also capture turf from. There's different ways you could reach it to, but the ways you can reach it to is not that like complex. It's pretty simple, in fact. So yeah, I would say it's kind of disappointing to a degree, but it's not like terrible or like incredibly. It's standard, basically. It's standard, even though they have like the treadmill gimmick going on. The main like actual turf capturing is pretty like simple. It's pretty simple to understand what's going on. So you know what? I would say B tier. It's like the most standard you can get. What is this? I'm pretty sure that's it from Splatoon 1. I forgot this one. I think I already talked about this one. What is this again? Whew. It's, here we go. This is the one. It's the exact picture actually. I think I talked about this. It's okay. I'll talk about the negatives first. I'll put it to the front. See, to anyone else who's confused. Honestly, I need some refreshers. Right here, talking about it. I need some reference pictures. Right here is basically the central kind of theme of this stage. It's a huge turbine. There's many different ones of these, and just like kind of, was it Piranha Pit? I think it was this one. I don't know what this was again. It was. Alright, whatever. Forget about it. So yeah, these turbines are basically, if you can't really like adapt to it, just like the other one, I'm pretty sure it was like Piranha Pit or something. if you can adapt to it, it's gonna be very frustrating. But you can easily get around that. You don't need a kind of have your team be the central or capture the central point, to take dominance over the entire turf, just like you could with the other one. There's a lot of ways you can just there's a lot of different extending paths or alternative directions you can go to capture a lot of different places just besides the main part of it. It's incredibly dynamic actually, but those paths are not incredibly are not really kind of flexible. It's kind of like static how you do each time. It's kind of like it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. It's not a massive it's not rocket science to capture a lot of those kind of alternative places that you could. So it's kind of like Dolphin something. It's kind of like which one was it? This one. It was kind of like this one, where the places or the alternative path you can actually go to is not the most complex. So at this time it would probably be just A tier, just shy from S tier, and I'm pretty sure that's all. And yeah, not missing anything else. Yeah, so that's all. So yeah, that's my list so far. Hold on, I'll just there we go. This is my list so far. And yeah. So these are S tiers, 4 S tiers, 4 A tiers, 4 B tiers, 3 C tiers, and 1 D tier. Yeah. And if you have any problem with this list, deal with it. I am the correct opinion, of course, definitely without a doubt. And if you have any other opinions, go to contact your lawyer, and I will see you later. Goodbye.